Hello kids, this is Mr. AG here, and we are talking about math for Tuesday, October 6th. And we are going to continue our conversation about telling time, and we're going to focus on the minute hand. So yesterday we talked about the difference between the hour hand and the minute hand. The hour hand is shorter, and it counts longer periods of time. So if you look at the clock going from 12, which is the 0 minute, and the 12 o'clock hour, we go to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock if we're tracking with the shorthand, the hour hand. But with minutes, it's a little bit different. The longer hand tracks minute by minute on these little tick marks here. And if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes with the long hand, you're actually at the 1. So each number represents 5 minutes. So we can connect that to our skip counting by fives to count the minutes. So as you can see here, we've got a time that we named the hour first, just to review. So 6, the most recent hour that this has passed is 6. So this is in the 6 o'clock hour, and we've got 0 or o'clock, 05, 10. This time would be 6, 10. Even though it's pointing to the 2 would be 2 times 10, or 0, 5, 10, 6, 10. And here we've got a time that you would recognize surely as 8 o'clock. The minute hand is pointing to the 0, or it's the 12, which is the 0 minute, and the hour is pointing towards the 8. So you name the hour first and then the minute. But I'd like to make the connection to the clock face being kind of like a curved number line. So if you see, you've got some experience with a number line before. It's just a straight line with arrows on both ends, and it's got little hash marks just like this, and there are marking points that are important places or landmarks on the number line that mean something. And so we've got a number line here, a curved number line, and the 1 would be the first 5. We're talking about the minute hand here. So we're going to make the connection to counting by fives. We're at 0 here at the top of the clock. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And as you know, the 60 minutes resets the hour, so we're back at 0 again. So on the clock, it goes up to the 59th minute, which is this mark right here, and then it goes back to the 0 mark as we're telling time because, as we discussed yesterday, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So it resets at that 12. So looking at how that number line moves forward, I'm showing 6 o'clock here. The hour hands at 6 o'clock, and from the first clock to the second clock, it moves 5 minutes. So you see that the time moves 5 minutes. The hour stays the same. We're still in the 6 o'clock hour. Notice it shifted slightly forward past the 6, but we are at 6:05. Remember, the minutes are always 2 digits. And then we move to 6:10, so it's moved 5 more minutes. So it was 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:10. Notice that the hour hand has shifted slightly forward because that hour hand doesn't sit still and just suddenly move to 7. It moves partially to 7 as the minute hand moves. It moves much more slowly. So we've got 6:10, 6:15, and you can guess it, 6:20 as the minute hand moves to the next number, and 6:25. So I'd like to go ahead and show you at this point, if you'd like to get your green book out, pause the video, get your green book out. You can follow along in the Module 2, Lesson 2 problem set. I'm going to lead through the instructions for this, and your assignment is going to be to go into the math folder and pick up the Tuesday lesson, which is the Lesson 2 homework. It's a CAMI assignment that's just like the problem set that we're going to do right now. So make sure you've got your green book with me and follow along with your pencil. It tells us to follow the directions to label the number line below. So this number line, we're thinking about it like a clock. So it tells us that Ingrid gets ready for school between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Label the first and last tick marks as 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. So here's the first tick mark and here's the last tick mark. So we're going to use our text box feature here to label 7 o'clock a.m. right there. And the last tick mark here we're going to label as 8 o'clock a.m. So this would represent 1 full hour from the first tick mark to the last tick mark. So it would be 60 minutes. Now, if you're thinking of a clock, how many numbers are on a clock? There are 12 numbers on a clock. So I would guess going from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, these would represent the 12. So there's probably 13 on this. This would be the 12 mark, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, the 11, and the 12, back to the 12 at 8 o'clock. So we've done A. We've finished that. We can put a little check mark by the A here. We are finished. Okay, I didn't mean for that to be so thick. Let's do it skinny like this. Check, finished. Next. Each interval represents 5 minutes. Count by 5 starting at 0 or 7 a.m. Label each 5-minute interval below the number line up to 8 a.m. So I'm going to do exactly what the directions say. So I'm going to label 7:05, 7. I might have to make my text a little bit smaller here to make it fit. So I'm going to go to the 12 point here, and I'm going to put 7:05, and then move ahead a little bit here to the next tick mark, 7:10, and then I can just go ahead and space out some more here. I'll do 7:15, and then keep spacing it out, because we're still in the 7 o'clock hour, 7:20, keep going. This one's going to be 7:25, keep on going here, 7:30, going. The next 5-minute mark is going to be 7:35, and then we've got 7:40, keep on going, 7:50, nope, 7:45, I did that again, I started counting by tens, 7:50, and then the last time I need to mark is 7:55. Okay, so I've done everything they asked me to do so far. I'm going to check off my part B. I've done that part. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so we can keep up with the paper. Go back to my text box here. Ingrid starts getting dressed at 7:10 a.m. Plot a point on the number line to represent this time. Above the point, write D. Okay, so I'm looking for 7:10, and I'm going to plot the point. I'm going to use green just for fun. And I'm going to do my drawing here, and I'm going to make the line thicker. Let's go ahead and put it here, and it's 7:10. I'm going to put my, I wanted to make it green, but that's okay. I'll make it red. The text box here is going to show D. Oh, I made the text green, but not the drawing green. There we go. Okay, so I'm finished with that. Let's do D. Ingrid starts eating breakfast at 7:35 a.m. Plot a point on the number line to represent this time. Above the point, write E. So I'm looking for 7:35 a.m. I want to put a little dot right on 7:35, and I've got to label that dot what it tells me to label it, which is E. Okay, so this is the time that she starts eating breakfast. So I'm going to put my little check here because I'm done with D. Next, E, Ingrid starts brushing her teeth at 7:40. Plot a point on the number line to represent this time and put a T. Okay, so 7:40, I'm going to go back to my thicker number line, or my thicker 7:40 here. And this is going to be T right here. And I've finished with item E. All right, so I'm going to put my little check mark here. And F tells me that Ingrid starts packing her lunch at 7:45. Plot a point on the number line to represent this time. Above the point, write L. Okay, so I can do that. Go back to 8. I'm looking for 7:45, and this is going to be L. Go back to my text box here. L. Very good. Next, I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and tick this off, check it off like this. Ingrid starts waiting for the bus at 7:55. Plot a point on the number line to represent this time. Above the point, write W. Okay, so what was it, 7:50? 7:55. Okay, so I'm going to my drawing. I've been using red. I've been using the 8. 7:55 right here. I'm going to plot this point and I'm going to label it, what does it say? W. So I'm going to put a W above this spot here. And I have done all of the things that the problem set asks me to do on this page. So now let's move down, and my finished plot line should look like this. It's a number line that represents the times on the clock, and it's 1 hour's worth of time that explains how Ingrid got ready for her school day. Now moving down, it gives me some more problems to put onto the plot, or to plot onto the number line. So here we've got 0 minutes to 60 minutes. It says label every 5 minutes below the number line shown. Draw a line from each clock to the point on the number line which shows its time. Not all of the clocks have matching points. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my text box in here. This is going to be my 05 mark. Here we've got our 10 mark. Here we've got our 15 mark. Here we've got our 20 mark. Here we've got our 25. Here we've got our 30. Here we've got 35. And here we've got 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. Okay, so now I'm going to use my line tool in the shapes feature here. I'm going to find 835. 835 is not on this line because this is between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So 835 will not be here. So this time here, I'm looking at the hour hand first. It's not to the 6 yet, it's to the 5, or it's just past the 5, so it's 5:50. So I'm gonna take my line tool and I'm gonna mark from this clock all the way over here to 5:50. Here's 5:15. I'm gonna mark here. 6. Oh, this one's past 6 o'clock. See, it's past 6, so it's not going to be on this line because the end of this line is 6 p.m. So 5:40 is on the line, and 5:25 is on the line. So right here. So these two here, 6:10 and 8:35, are not on this line. And then we've got a few problems related to telling time. I'll let you go ahead and work through those on your own. But you should be well prepared now to get into the Module 2 Lesson 2 homework and work through the problems that they ask you to do on this assignment. Make sure you open it with Kami. And when you open it with Kami, you'll see an assignment that is very, very similar to the assignment we just did. Now notice the times are between the 4 o'clock hour and the 5 o'clock hour. So it's a little bit different, but it's the same kind of deal where you label it and put plot points on the number line. And then you've got, looks like that might be it. So good luck, do your best, and enjoy your math today. Remember, we focused on the 5 minutes, or every number on the clock standing for 5 minutes when you're counting by the minute hand, the longer hand. We'll keep working on time tomorrow. Good luck, do your best, and have fun.